Welcome everybody back to Valorant Challengers. Okay, all right, Sean. Explain the situation here. We had Sentinels, their streak broken on Haven, and now, what does that mean for the series?
Oh, that puts the series in such a rough spot. Envy really sucked the air out of the room, if I'm being honest. We both envisioned, that map going to Sentinels, us sitting at 1-1, and then we go into Bind. So looking at Envy statistics in 2021, they are 12-3, right? They're just destroying people in Bind. Sentinels have only played Bind twice this year. And they typically only play it in grand finals where, they don't have a veto. They can't get rid of it. This is the only time they ever play the map. So to say I'm scared that this could end 3-0 would be an understatement. I think even when Sentinels probably prepared for this series, they envisioned themselves winning Haven. I mean, they haven't lost yet this year. So I don't know. I think Sentinels would have to have a crazy game plan. But that's so difficult when you make runs through the lower bracket and, you end so late the night before. How could they possibly have time to create an entire game plan on a map that they don't play against potentially one of the best teams in the NA? We're asking a lot out of them here. It's possible, but this is going to be super difficult for Sentinels.
Yeah, grand finals is where the magic happens, and as you guys could see in the clips there, we had some pretty epic plays coming out of Envy. I feel like, if we had food with Trigger Discipline there, it's just funny that, the previous day, the play of the day was Caboose Trigger Discipline on Icebox to murder everybody with the Stinger. So I feel like we're starting to see a pattern here, but maybe Sentinels will be able to break that pattern to dispel the Envy magic, because moving into Bind, as you say, at the very least, Sean, there's not a lot of information on Sentinels, so there is some surprise factor. But whenever I've watched Envy, I've just always been so immensely impressed in how solid they look. It doesn't feel like they ever are playing in a spot where they're ever at a disadvantage. They always seem to find the good rotations, like really well-timed info plays to just make it so that they always have something ready. Kind of like we saw on Haven, actually. Like on the defense, they just seem to always have players in the rotations they needed to be in at the right times.
Yeah, it's similar to how Sentinels operate on Haven, where it seems like when they're on attack, they're always hitting the right side, except for this last match. That's what happens when I watch Envy play Bind. Like, they always get shower control. They're excellent. They always get hookah control. And then they quickly evacuate those areas and hit the other side as their opponents are stacking, where they've shown presence. They are masterminds at moving around the map on an individual level, let alone just looking at their entire team. So, Sentinels is going to start off on defense, and I think that their key to victory here is going to be controlling showers. Will we see Sick on a duelist again? He's had tons of success throughout the tournament. We've seen him on Sage on Bind a lot in the past, a long time ago. Could he possibly bring that back?
We'll have to see. There's a lot to ask here. I am really curious if Sentinels may even try to throw. Do they go with comfort, or do they try to make things weird? I feel like making things weird is never normally a good option, and it only really shows that a team is really concerned with their position. So I'm hoping we'll get sort of confident picks here. Sentinels is a team that's great at adaptation. Is there any reason in particular why you feel like Bind is a map that doesn't really fit Sentinels very well historically?
There's honestly no reason for it, I guess, other than the fact that when they initially started playing Bind a lot, we would see Zoms playing Brim. He was going against the grain to the largest extreme, right? In the pro scene, everyone was playing Omen on Bind. They were all playing the Omen in U-Haul, and Zoms was playing Brim. And they kind of struggled going against the grain and trying to counter the meta. And now you see he's actually going back to Omen. So I don't know. I kind of actually would have preferred the initial take by them on this map instead of trying to play the same style as everyone else. I mean, Shaz now on the Sova. So this is just, they have such an interesting comp on Bind compared to their other maps, right? They allow Sinatra to play this Raze. They also have Sick on a duelist, and because of that, Sova's just way too impactful on this map. They need a Sova. So then Shazam plays Sova on this map. I just think their roles don't work out on this map the same way they do on the others.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see if there's at least any new setups. Envy is the team that's always impressed me with the buying setups, but again, as you've mentioned, they're obviously a team that really prides themselves on just being very well prepared on this map and finding it to be somewhat of a home ground for them in many senses. One of the things, if I'm casting my mind back to what do I feel like has been successful in, historically for Sentinels on this map, it's usually come out of Sinatra having a good game, and it's come out of Sick having a good game. And that was, I'm thinking back to when Sick used to play Sage on this map. So, well, a lot of questions to be answered, and looks like we'll have those answered very shortly as map 3 begins. Info for both sides around B long.
This drone will spot one player. That's actually not that much info, but seeing a Sova in particular is kind of important. Typically, those don't lead the pack.
Sentinels maintaining hookah control for now as well. So that's, even though they lose this, they could lose the site. Having hookah control can be pretty important post plant when you're going for the retake. I'm actually creeping into the bomb site, and he's going to take down Crashies. That is a huge frag to get. Shazam now causing problems. They're going to rotate through the TP, through to the A site.
Oh my goodness,
however,
food.
This is kind of desperate.
That said, food.
Oh, the jump peek from Dapper, almost good. And the frenzy for food. He's going to convert there, putting it to a 3-on-3. That is going to put Envy to an advantage. They were definitely not looking like they had advantages before that. For the play into U-Haul. This, peeking before the flash comes through, Sean. I'd never like to see that.
Yeah, that was really weird because Zoms even flashed him also.
One enemy remaining.
Zoms gets caught. Nice angle from Caboose, and holding on to U-Haul is Mame as well. And great conversion from Envy.
Wow.
And it was all about food, man. It's just that play from food that just flipped around on his head.
Yeah, the Lurks just had so much confidence on Envy. I think just the fact that Crashies got that far up in sight, even if he didn't collect that frag, likely made Shazam's style of communication when he called you, there's a guy in sight, the panic calm. You could tell he was shocked. He couldn't believe it. So he likely panic calmed, caused the rotate to come from A super quickly. They had the cam in U-Haul, but Food cuts through the site, avoids the cam altogether. And what a lurk by Food.
We have to focus around Hookah once again here for Sentinels. Oh,
what?
What is happening? Sick is so confident. It doesn't look real. What is happening right now around Hookah, but they will trade out the kills. Sentinels commit fully after those 2 kills. They could have actually reset back.
Look at the ground that Crashies just took, though.
He managed to find his way quite far forward. Still, 2 versus 2. There is the info that one has teleported through.
One enemy remaining.
From the A site. Finesse taking down Shazam. They know the Dap is coming from Hookah. It's going to get spotted out here. It's a pretty challenging position to be in. He's able to find his way onto the site, though. Baiting them by tapping the cage. Finding a 1v1. Dapper looking for the clutch here. Sentinels need it, but Finesse will be able to stop the efforts of Dapper.
That was very, very close from Sentinels. Led by the 2 frags coming out of Sick, pushing Hookah. But I want to draw attention to this play by Crashies. I mean, what he did there, his teammates are telling him to push Hookah at the start of the round. His drone spots Shaz, the 3rd B player, from watching the demos of Sentinels. So he accounts for that player deep in spawn. He pulls his knife out and doesn't even look at the site. Doesn't look at Hookah, just runs out to elbow. There's so much knowledge about rotations in a play like that. Insane.
Get a play for Shower's control here. It's not really that much that Sentinels can do to stop this with what they had. Zoms it's forced back. He's got to respect the pressure now, and that's the orb being farmed for food. And they can fall back now, and can definitely see that the pressure is felt there in the rotation of Sentinels for on the A site, but we'll see Envy resetting here.
Oof. And this is what I was referring to before the game started. Heavy presence shower. Envy got what they wanted. They've evacuated the area, and now they're going back to B. And look what it's done to the rotations from Sentinels. They have 2 players on B, but they're not even in the site. I mean, Envy could technically just walk into the bomb site right now and plant the spike. It would be free.
Oh, God, Caboose. He found the perfect timing there, taking down Sick and Zoms. That's going to leave the A site wide open, or at least that's what Envy might be thinking. However, Dapper is still here in U-Haul. Oh, he's going to get baited there, looking away just as Caboose peeks him. What a round from Caboose so far. That might be it here, unless Sinatra can find some damage with this forward position. He'd have to do something pretty crazy, but unable to find what he needs. And that's going to leave Shazam in the cold. Nothing for him to do here. The timing of that, Sean, just like Envy slowed the game down so much that Sentinels got completely caught on that info play.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I mean, we both love info plays coming from CS, right? The round breaks down. Envy had massive advantage. They have full map control. They had showers. They're going back to B. 2 players are on B playing outside of the site. So what happens in a scenario like that? Well, you have to get info. You have to know. You have to learn as defense in that scenario that you have to push something. And Caboose is aware of that. He's just so ready for the short A push. Takes both of the players down pushing short A. I mean, once that happens, we both knew the round's over. I mean, the round's over. In the 5-on-3 where the 2 guys push A like this, Dapper's already running back towards B. I mean, this is just so beautiful, too. All Caboose double satchels past everything. They look so polished.
Yeah, for sure. And it's a tough one. We'll get the half buy coming through from Sentinels this round. And definitely can't count them out. They have a 4-man setup towards B, 3 long, 1 hookah at the moment.
Revealing area.
Just for the start of the round, it seems.
Cage triggered.
Maybe with the walk up B long. Teasing the B site right now. Drawing out some utility. That's a good connection, though, with the paint shells onto Caboose. Drone coming through to the A site.
Oof, so Crashy's just cleared out all of those close angles of short A, and Zoms heard that. So he's asking Sick to come back. You can see that's forced 2 players at A. Envy is aware of this, though. They know how this map plays out. You can see they're ready for the hookah push. They know, same scenario as last round. They expect Sentinels to do an information play right now. So they're putting heavy pressure at A and waiting for that information play to come out of hookah.
Oh,
And
the
will they
timing
get
there.
it? Will they get this aggro out of hookah?
Sinatra, oh, he's so close to taking down Crashies there, but no dice. 2 players very low. There we go. Dapper in with the Bucky. And now he's out with the Bucky just as quickly. Shazam with a double.
Oh!
Beautiful stuff there on the transfer. Gets his way back into hookah, still alive. Unable to take down Caboose, though. Caboose is so weak at the moment that, in fact, this is very doable for Zoms. Very doable indeed. Crashy's also so low on HP, playing a headshot position. That's definitely how you want to do it when you have low health. Zoms, this is so difficult. So many spots to check, and Crashy's is going to take him down. The headshot spot is going to work out nicely. These rounds, I feel like, are so close.
Shazam with the spray transfer. That was gorgeous. The fact that he connected with all 3 of those kills. I think he sent back the Phoenix ult right there. Unfortunately, I think if he realized Caboose is low there, he probably just challenges him with a classic. But he has no way of knowing that in that scenario. And like you said, I mean, it's a Counter-Strike thing. When you're low HP like that in the mid to late round, find a nice headshot angle, make the person work for the frag on you, make them go for a headshot. And that's exactly what Crashies did.
Typical battle over the hookah position. Not too much utility exchanged. Oh, Caboose. That had to be a pre-fire there. That was so fast. Sinatra's on the angle as well, trying to fight. It's a bad start here for Sentinels once again. Fury coming out towards the A side. The execute into the B side, though, at the same time. The battle on top of the bomb site. Sentinels, not too much left to hold on to this with, they're going to have to concede the bomb site for the plant.
Spike planted.
Sick holding on to elbow control, which is pretty crucial.
This is
forced back,
insane,
though.
Dan. This is like they're just giving everyone in the scene lessons on how to play bind.
Yeah, it's hard to really, it's hard to beat what Envy are doing right now.
It seems next to impossible. What they did was so smart, right there. They got hookah control, and like you said, I mean, it looked like he just got pre-fired top site. But when you looked at what happened, you saw Food's Molly come in on left side of hookah. You know, they cleared out the right side with the paint shells and the boom bot, and it's the only place that you can put your crosshair in that scenario is top site if you do exactly what Envy just did. And then meanwhile, Crashies is solo Sova ulting the A site. I mean, he's definitely going to keep 2 players at A in a 4-on-2. A 4-on-5. I'm sorry, a 4-on-5. He's keeping 2 players at A. It's like they're just so far ahead of Sentinels so far this map.
Yeah, really great clear coming through to U-Haul as well. Preventing any peeks as they try to take the fights on the site, but it's Soms with the stinger. Taking down 1, lightening the load, and that Sentinel still holding on to Uka just barely. The sound cues though going through the cage. Sinatra is going to get taken out. 3 versus 4 retake here now for Sentinels. Oh god, it's a Bucky from heaven. I don't know about that one. Yeah, this is looking rather grim once again for Sentinels. All comes through though to create a line to get out from heaven. And Dap has found his way with the Bucky to more favorable ranges. Stinger coming through first. He actually pulls out the classic, knowing that he can't really fight from those ranges with the Bucky. Oh, it's just stuck in a corner too. It does, doesn't it? 6-0. It's going the way of Haven so far.
Oof. Okay, well, Envy has come to play today, Dan. That's what I've learned so far.
They're not messing around.
They are definitely not messing around so far in these finals. The way they've started these 2 maps is unlike anything I've seen when, the top teams play each other in the finals. They are just blowing Sentinels out so far. This is a sight to see. This is really impressive.
Yeah, they're swinging hard, right? But it doesn't seem like any warm-up was necessary for them.
Heads up. No
Nice trades from Sick, though. That's what Sentinels need. Got the spike in market as well. They're actually pushing for spike control, possibly here. And Envy on the other side of the map are picking up the kills, so it's really down to the B players to try to win these fights. And now it's just down to Sick. He's going to have to ace to clutch this round now for his team. Oh, he just barely misses the frag there. That could have been a huge pickup. 10 bullets before he has to give away his position on a reload. And, well, might as well reload after this. Maybe not. This is so dangerous right now.
This is so difficult for Sig.
Spike planted.
Oh, that made it way more doable.
Finding a timing. Sees one backside. Knows one has to be Hookah. You can see he's looking for the trade.
Jesus. Damn.
7-0.
I mean, they're just so good. They're just so good at reacting to the information that they see on the map, right? And that's what I'm trying to convey right now to the viewers is Sentinels double push out Hookah. And if you watch from Food's point of view, I don't even know if he saw Shazam push down long B, but just the idea to throw a flash around that corner, I mean, he only has 2. Think about all the corners that are going to come after that. They're so aware of what's coming next. And Crashy's just walking out of shower all by himself.
Joke's over. You're dead.
Sinatra with the showstopper. They're trying to make a play, trying to just get lucky, really. But unfortunately, Envy were in a position to be able to escape that. The trip as well helping out to stop Sinatra dead in his tracks. And now Sentinels start off this round 3 against 5 after they've burned that showstopper. Oh, making matters worse. And Neural Theft comes through. Everything is known by Envy at this point. They can make perfect rotations.
They're smoked out of the site. They can't get in.
Oh, wow. It's so difficult. Sick there. Flashing his way forward. food on the other end of things though by Cubby. They can play bait here. Someone can bait for food. Oh, that's a big recon though. That's gonna deal with food, but
No
maybe
way.
what? An
No
MP.
way.
Well, Crash is gonna deal with food, I suppose. But
Yeah, I was like, wait, 4 people alive and it was a flawless? Like, what? Yeah.
oh my god.
Oh my goodness. Oh, I have no faith, Dan. I have no faith. I need you to give me the faith.
I can't do it, man. I don't know how. What do we have to work with here so far for Sentinels? There's been very little. I mean, if they can scrap together a few rounds, you know, you can try to put some stock in their attacking side being better, because they can, you know, on the attacking side, you get to dictate the pace. But the problem is if you don't have any rounds to buffer to work with, no margin of error, it's hard to really do those conditioning plays, those defaults as effectively.
And so far, Sentinels have gotten shower every single round, and that continues here. Even though they took out Crashies, the trade from FNS means Zoms has to stay there. There's 3 people on Sentinels defending long B, and they have to fall back to the site. I mean, they fought this and they have nothing for it. Actually, I think Envy's gonna go into them. This could go really bad for Envy.
There's a wall, and the play through, right through the wall. Finesse is a madman, sacrificing himself perhaps to keep his teammates alive. Noble effort, and Sinatra able to win the battle there towards Hookah. And in fact, there is now no passage for the Spike to arrive onto the site, and there's plenty of time for some assistance from Sinatra to arrive to help out Zoms on A. And the whole map is now locked down.
Sinatra is actually still, to this very second, shooting Mummy's body right now outside of Hookah.
30 seconds left.
I hear the judge sound through my headphones. He's definitely shooting the body outside of Hookah. I'm staring at radar. Yeah. Oh, man.
I hope it helps, man.
I hope so too. I hope so too. We need an 8-4 for this to even be a game. This is insanity. What? But that was a very clever play again coming out of Envy. They go 3 up long. They teleport out. Honestly, I think against other teams, Mame probably gets the lurk kill on Sinatra inside Hookah, which is probably why Sinatra was like, "You're not fooling me, man. I know you lurkers just creep around the map."
There's a drone out for that information short B. Oh, aggression on showers. Oh, you don't want to see that. That's painful. Oof. It's hard to find words for that. Crashies, filled with confidence, is going to make his way forward. Zam is holding on to U-Haul still, so there is some hope if he can hold on to this position. Maybe get a frag out of it. This is looking quite difficult, but there you go. That's kind of the maneuver you want to see from Shazam. He's working on the third, but Sinatra with that judge. Oh, there are guns I think they can collect, but I don't know if that's the fight. The double peek there is going to deal with Sinatra. Do you sense some tilt, Sean? Do you see it anywhere?
I don't know. The smell of defeat is just so strong in the air, Dan. That's all that I can... That's all my senses are picking up right now. It's just this is such a difficult battle if Sentinels want to end up clawing back this map. I mean, they're down 0-2 in a best of 5, 9-1 on defense side of Bind, a map they don't even play. I mean, this has to be a wake-up call for them to start practicing this map.
Yeah, I'm really loving what I'm seeing out of Envy. We get the showstopper play with the satchel straight through. Can't quite find the movement he's looking for, Caboose.
But look at this, Dan. They're all A. And Zoms is here all by himself. They've done it again. Like, they're ahead at every turn. And the drone's going to tag him. And he's going to die in the site. They're going to take the site. Now Shaz is here all by himself.
It's pretty tough here, Shazam. He's going to have to be falling back slightly here. Needs his teammates to get in behind him. There we go, Sinatra with the boombot. That's going to help them use some more ground on this retake. Great stuff there from Sinatra. The judge is the tool for the job. They're clearing out U-Haul. And here we go.
They're back. They're back. They're back.
Oh, man. Dapper is sending the message. I don't know what the message is, but I know that there's a message being sent.
Yeah, I mean, whew. I don't know what the message would involve. You might need to send over some of those claws.
Oh,
Claws
man.
that
Okay.
he loves so much.
Okay. You said 4 rounds. What about 3 rounds, Sean? Can I?
Nah, no deal. I'm
You're
putting
not-
the switch down. No deal. Can we go
No
back
deal.
and give them 4? Boombot coming in hookah. These guys are going long. I actually do believe Sentinels can come back though. They do need the pistol.
Satchel out.
So droning up long is only one man
Oh.
there. Nice play from Sinatra, pulling back. Perfect timing. Oh, all over the place here. The Hunter Shuri popped there into the site.
What?
Lots of pressure coming through. Able to defend though just for a moment. Shazam deals with the run it back, but 3 versus 4 here for Sentinels. It's not a great look, but Dapper's still at the back of the site. We know how important these positions are. There's the tease though. Dapper, the flick's gotta be good. It is just good enough. Neural Theft comes through for the info. Zoms might be able to finish things off here. Back haul, but no. Still Food alive and kicking there. The purple to protect himself. The Nest out of the cage, able to do more damage as well. Sinatra now in the clutch. They need this round desperately. Trying to fake that he's running long. Cam, though, is going to give them all the info they need.
When Fraggy gets his ult in, if he finds his connection on either player, so doable.
One backside. Trying to get somebody to peek him here. He needs that info desperately. Oh, the satchel through. Oh, Sinatra can't get it done. As crazy as he is, and a crazy player is required, doesn't work out this time.
Switching
2
sides.
rounds is all that Sentinels again have to work with at the end of the first half. We'll have to see if that's going to be enough for a comeback at the end of this break. Welcome back, everybody. Oh, I hope you are all sending your energies to Sentinels right now because they need it. They are in a desperately bad position. Not a map they play. This is, of course, the map that if Envy win, then they win this best of 5. They are the grand final champions here. And I don't know what hope lies here for Sentinels, but we're going to try to find it here. Off the start with a pistol. You said, Sean, they need it. What is the setup here for them?
Oof. You can see Sick is just waiting outside of showers right now. I mean, he's behind a smoke, and I believe there's a cam above him that FNS put there. This is going to be an A hit, but there's 3 players waiting for Envy. Probably a paranoia coming from you all. There it is. Oh, God.
A lot of utility thrown in there to defend. It's so chaotic. I have no idea what's going on towards U-Haul at the moment. However, Finesse at the back of the side with the classic. Oh, that's really good pistol work there from Finesse. He picks up a second one as well. 3 versus 3 here. The health is definitely favoring Envy at this point, and now the player numbers as well. Crashies does get caught, though. That could change the fortune here for Sentinels. Still, really weak. Don't have a way out of position onto the spike plant, though. That's the main issue here. As I say that, Sinatra is finding his way through the spawn. Might be able to get an angle up heaven.
That's an
but still,
insane
Dap is
lurk.
stuck.
Yeah, because now he knows no one's
30
in
seconds
spawn.
left.
It's odd that Envy doesn't, or Sentinels doesn't take this opportunity to actually go spawn to B. But they're going to stick around.
Oh my god, down to 1 HP. The hot hands. Oh no, Food is going to take down the
13
spike.
seconds
I don't know
there,
if
there's no
Sinatra can even
time.
get there in
10
time.
seconds
He's got to
left.
find a way to plant the spike, but I don't know that
gonna
there's
get
time to
pushed.
plant it and pull his gun out. He's going to have to get the frag immediately, but Food takes him down. Oh, that's so insane. I think had he not, been clear of that showers angle, maybe he could have survived the hot hands long enough to get the spike down, but
Wow. I thought that was such an insane play by Sinatra to push spawn like that, grab that ground. If the spike were to go down, I mean, suddenly that turns into a favorable scenario for Sentinels. But the hot hands in shower coming out of Food, I mean, that just, you cannot be prepared for that with 14 seconds left. That's, wow.
Envy looking like they're on the fast track to winning this best of 5. Army coming out there with Caboose, and it is just a bloodbath here. Such a force of a show of force, I should say, with those stingers steamrolling Sentinels in short B.
It is a matter of time now. Envy just looks so good in this series. This is insane. The difference between these two teams in this series is something I never thought I would see in a grand finals.
Yeah.
I am thoroughly impressed with Envy's performance here today. And I see no way that Sentinels can come back in this 12-2 scoreline. This is just so difficult. The way they even approach rounds is so different from how Envy won rounds last half. I mean, look at this. They're all stacked in one area.
And they're just going through there, through the TP, trying to make it happen. They're using the confidence. We'll be able to do some extra damage here. It's a crazy flurry of trades. And it's just going to be one left here. It's Food, but he's been owning everyone so far in this matchup. He's got that stinger. He's just filled to the brim with confidence. The flash goes through. He doesn't care. They're so far ahead right now. He does not care. Looking to try to finish it off here with the stinger. And it almost happened, man. Almost happened. But it's one round.
He's looking for ammo, Dan. There's no more ammo.
Oh no, they gotta get 9 in a row. Food has 25 kills.
Ironically, I think Sentinels have shot more bullets into the dead bodies of Envy than the alive bodies of Envy so far this game.
Yep, sounds about right.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Okay, well, Sentinels, it's not over till it's over. 2 judges, Bulldog. Life ain't good right now for Sentinels. Some info. Crashy's looking for some damage, more info.
Wow.
Just the pressure from Crashy's is really great at the moment.
What's owned him?
Sinatra one away from Showstopper.
Phoenix.
There's the satchel play straight into the site. The Nest, great tracking there. Nest looking really confident. Oh man, Nest doing even more damage. Sentinels, their duelists have been taken down on the entry. This is where it could all end here for Sentinels. Dapper creeping forward, but the setup here from Envy is fantastic. There's no way in. Food protecting Finesse. 5 versus 2 now. Make that 5 versus 1. Zoms has to have the clutch of his life to win this one. And just look at the disrespect coming from Crashies. It's not going to be enough. It's not going to be enough, and that's going to be a wrap. Envy taking the grand finals, the best of 5 grand finals in a 3-0 sweep. Envy are your Valorant Champions Tour North America Stage 1 Challengers 2 champions, Sean. It's a mouthful, but Envy deserve it. They are so formidable.
Hats and away. They're by far the best team in this tournament. And we thought that going into First Strike. they had such a good chance to win it. So it's good to see them bounce back so far this year, pick back up where they left off and finally close out, a big series against Sentinels. Just destroyed them today. Destroyed them on a map that they don't play in Haven and then Bind. I mean, typically they probably won't get that Bind pick when they play Sentinels. It's weird because we wouldn't get either map in a best of 3, but here we had both of them today. And I think Sentinels needs to go back to the drawing board on Bind. If they're going to be one of these, top 2-3 teams in NA, which they are, they're going to have to play this map in the finals. They're going to have to play it. So time to start practicing Bind if you're a Sentinels player. And nothing but good things to say about Envy after today. I mean, this was an annihilation. This was insane.
It really was. And I think a lot of people, Sean, correct me if I'm wrong, I heard it from a lot of the pros, people were considering Sentinels the best in North America right now. But the way Envy have played, only losing one map, and it was only to Sentinels this entire bracket, it feels like Envy are just well on the way to just really solving a lot of the issues that they had in terms of that consistency. It is just this one tournament so far that's looked so insanely dominant from them. But do you see Envy now as the best in North America?
I think they're certainly close. And I mean, that's because when you watch them play Split, they're a top team. When you watch them play Ascent, they're a top team. When you watch them play Bind, like we just saw, they're clearly a top team. So that's 3 out of the 5 maps. I mean, they just need to clean up their Haven a little bit. And if you watch against Sentinels, it looked really good. There's probably tons of anti-strats in there, so I wouldn't take much from that game. But add one more out of the 2 maps into their pool, this is the best team in NA. Like, they are playing some amazing Valorant, and I think they nailed the roles with all the players. They're in such a good spot moving forward.
Yeah, Sentinels, they're normally a team in these grand finals where I feel like they're maybe one of the best teams to make things scrappy, to kind of bring the game maybe back into their hands, but just making it really chaotic, playing those mid rounds. But Envy seems so well-rounded in every part of the game that it never looked like there was a spot where they were out of control, and they always had a setup ready for more or less anything. So it's crazy to see the kind of development they've made. I know we've got an interview coming up. I should be with Caboose from Envy. So I'm really looking forward to getting some of his thoughts on how Envy have managed to be so dominant and what they've been working on, because they are looking so next level right now.
Yeah, it's crazy how quickly they've gotten here, right? Since adding Food and Crashies, they just, leapfrogged over a dozen teams into like the top 5.
Absolutely. Well, let's take a quick look at the sweet play of the day before we continue that discussion. Let's soak in some of the awesome action. I imagine we're going to see that trigger discipline play coming through again. It's been something that indeed has been. I mean, Food is a great person to highlight for today as well, just in general, because he's been incredibly impressive. Like, you mentioned it before, Sean, Food. Sorry, you're talking about how good Crashies is. And Food and Crashies are kind of one of these kind of dynamic duos that kind of came up. They were there together in T1 and have continued to be a duo that's so reliable.
Yeah, this lurk from Food is so insane, man. So insane. Food, I think he's really proving the doubters wrong, right? Once he was removed from T1, he had so many haters coming into Envy. Envy didn't seem like it was as big of a brand in Valorant. That's all changed now. No one even remembers the past when Food and Crashies came from T1. This is now the team that they're gonna make their legacy on. It seems like Crashies is out of control on this overroll. I mean, the way he's blossomed as a player, we said it during the cast. I can't say it enough. I mean, they've nailed the roles across their entire team. They have the Sentinel in FNS. Very few teams are constructed perfectly, in my opinion. And, these guys, and I would say like 100 Thieves, are kind of in that zone where, because of how their teams are constructed, I have a lot of faith on them moving forward and just how they approach all of the constant changes to the meta.
Well, with that said, Sean, it's time to bring Caboose into the discussion for a post-match winners interview. All right, Caboose.
Hi guys, how's it going?
What is up, man?
Caboose was
Feeling
on
good.
the loose. Sheesh.
Well played, man. That was I don't even know how to define that grand finals. You guys completely stomped Sentinels. It didn't look like there was any moment of doubt. How was that grand finals for you? Did that go as you expected?
Definitely not as expected. Beating Sentinels the first time, they looked solid. They looked like they were playing up to their level. And then when they went to the lower bracket, it looked like they leveled up even harder. So we were definitely looking forward to like an insane rematch here. And I definitely think that we just came out swinging today and maybe a bit of an off day for them.
Yeah, it seemed like they struggled to get a footing. I think the first thing that me and Sean really noticed on Haven was how there seemed to be maybe some anti-stratting in there, but you guys seem to make, I think, perfect reads on their what they were doing on their attacking side time and again. Was that anti-stratting, or was it just you guys just know this team so well?
So kind of going into what Dan said, I think the first gun round you pushed C, you saw Zombs on top the box, and then there was like 3 people on A. You read that, or actually the first round was the B round. You guys read perfectly. Then the second round was this round at A, and then the third round was C, and you guys just constantly were reading them perfectly. You had 3 people in every site they hit. So like, do you have any insight to the communication? Like what gave you guys those reads?
It wasn't so much as anti-stratting. We didn't really like hard anti-strat them. We kind of just went in playing our game. And Haven is one of those maps where we haven't really practiced it as much. It's kind of like one of our pocket picks. And we're really good, I think, on this map on defensive side is being proactive. When we lose information, we retake it somewhere else. We try to get that early info, trade utility well. If they use their dart, we communicate. They're not going to hit a site if they don't have their dart up, if they have no omen flash. So we kind of taken an aspect, everyone we've seen, all the specific agents and what ability they use, and we try to find space on the map that we think is open. And today it worked really well for us. We found a lot of good timings and took a lot of map control without them realizing we had it.
It worked pretty damn well. Sentinels looked really flustered there on Haven, and then obviously it's kind of crazy because going into bind, of course, it really feels like that's such a huge weakness for Sentinels. Like were you guys feeling like if you won Haven that the series might just be over? There must have been additional pressure on having a performance on Haven.
Yeah, we were kind of, my mindset going into it, at least, knowing we don't really play much Haven, is we're playing a BO3, and if we lose the first map, it doesn't count. So we didn't really mind too much on Haven, and we got off on a strong start. Felt really confident. And then going into Bind, you said Sentinels don't play it as much, and they don't really play it much anymore. It's actually like they're banned now, and that's always been really confusing to me because they've always been, in my eyes, one of the best Bind teams. So that's like a ban they've been doing recently. So I knew even though they didn't play it, they would still have a game plan on it on Bind. So I wasn't like blowing them out of the water on it. I think they could still play a good game on it. So
awesome.
And, like how ready were you guys to go in down to the wire on like Icebox? Because you guys ended up picking Icebox over Ascent, right? That's last map. You guys chose that.
Yeah. So Icebox is something. The final 3 maps in the pool, the Bind, Split, Icebox, is kind of like our comfort ground. We pick these maps when we go into BO3s, especially Split. So the veto went a little weird. They actually picked Split into us, giving us a side choice. I thought that was a little weird because they know we always pick Split. We'll always take the fight, and they can kind of get free defender side. So the end of the veto is a little weird. I'm surprised that they took the Split route. I think they kind of just wanted to like get in our heads, have like an early attack side start, and kind of just snowball from there. But didn't get to those maps, so I'm not too sure. But definitely interesting for the veto.
Well, I think that's all we have time for. Thank you so much, Caboose, for just joining us for a quick post-match chat. Do you have any shout-outs to end things with?
Shout out to Envy, awesome org. Super glad to represent them. My teammates as well. We've been working really hard. I'm really proud of all of them. So yeah, thank y'all, all the supporters, all the fans. Appreciate it.
Awesome. Thank you, Caboose.
Thank you.
Wow. Okay, Sean, I feel like this team is really developing into something pretty special. A lot of potential has been known for a while. Had a lot of lineup switches, but it feels like they're really hitting well with this particular team.
They really are, and I can't say enough how positive I am about the future of them because they've shown the ability to switch off of agents really well, change their game plan, change their style, change which weapons they like buying, where they like buying. They change anything according to the meta to get edges. And any team that's willing to do that is going to be very successful in Valorant because there's going to be a lot of changes thrown your way between the new agents, the new maps, the changes to the guns. It's still so early into this game that you should not expect a year down the road for the game to feel like it feels right now. So you have to be able to adapt. and Envy does a great job of that.
Yeah, and securing that place in Masters as well. We have still 4 teams, of course, to find out, who will be joining them in Masters, which I mean, so excited for that. That's right around the corner, and so make sure that you guys are marking your calendar. The next tournament here, so you can find out the stage 3 who's going to make that top 4 spot, and it's going to be exciting. And looking forward to seeing how the storylines continue, the rivalries continue. But that is going to be all from myself and Sean for today. Thank you everybody for tuning in. Thank you for Nursery Gamers for doing such a great job with the production, and thank you to all of you at home once again. We'll see you guys on the next one. Cheers.